Already going for the brush, aren't you? Hmm? There we go. Starting to have a couple people pop in here now. I think I noticed this yesterday when I was doing this. Usually, what happens, I got a little icon on the screen that tells me how many people are watching at the moment. And usually, I start seeing people appear on that number, on that list before people start typing comments. But that's been changing the last couple of days. So that's weird. Yeah, you got anything to add to that? Yeah. That's all you have to say. That's all you said, everything, isn't it? You're like that I am Groot guy. Everything comes out of a meow. All right, let's get down to business. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Yeah, that's happening a lot of places here where they're shutting down the borders. That's probably a good way to control it. Yeah, I've been having some earthquake activity in Utah. That's unusual for them. But I was actually when I first saw you post something about it that a couple days ago, I actually thought, wait, I didn't even know there were earthquake faults in Utah. But yeah, there are a few of them, and I guess one of them just came to life. Sounds like fun. Yeah, that was another one of the reasons I left California. I get tired of the earthquakes. Rock and Russell's under lockdown. Yeah, that's happening a lot of places. California is just absolutely going crazy on that. So that's sort of the reason why I'm kind of doing, going to try doing these daily live streams for a while here. I'm on quarantine from work. If you watched yesterday's video, you kind of heard the story of that. So, I'm going to try. I can't go back to work now until April 2nd. Uh, there's nothing specifically wrong with me, but when my boss found out that I had been in California for a few days, he said, "Okay, you're on quarantine." So I don't really have any work to do now for the next until April 2nd. So since there are a lot of you that are like locked down and can't get out, I'm going to try doing some more of these live streams, hopefully daily. So, we can tune in every day and figure out what's going on and kind of just keep up with everyone. Yeah, thank you on the 3,000. I knew that was coming, but it came really quick. I've been within striking distance of it for about a week now, and yeah, we just kind of rocketed past that. I'm also kind of excited. YouTube is starting to push one of my videos, so I'm starting to get a lot of views on one of my JFK assassination videos. Uh, Initially on the first, usually what happens on my videos is that, I get a big burst of views on the first 24 hours, and then it kind of flattens out after that. And I began noticing, a couple weeks ago that I was starting to get a lot of comments on one of the JFK videos, and I actually started looking into it a little bit to try and figure out what was going on. And you get a little on the analytics page, your page, you get like a little line graph that shows the growth of your videos, and usually it's just that it's the early rise, and then it just kind of plateaus out, and that's how it is. It's just kind of a slow rise after that because people watch them every once in a while. But this one is interesting because it started off with the initial rise and then it flattened out, and then you get to about 2.5 weeks ago, and it starts rising up again. And in the last 2 weeks, we've gone from about 2,000 views on it to over 6,000. So I think that one's going to probably be my first really successful video, first video to hit 10,000, definitely. That will probably happen very quickly. I'm very excited about that. But yeah, 3,000 subscribers is really exciting, and I think there might be a connection between this JFK video and the subscribers too, because if a lot of people are watching your videos, maybe and it's a new audience. Maybe they'll start subscribing, and that can't do anything but help. So, even if only half of them watch videos, that's worth it. They put the National Guard on alert in California. Yeah, I kind of figured that was happening. In fact, I think I said that during yesterday's live stream that there's a very real possibility that they'll, call out the National Guard and declare martial law. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get out of California. Diane's saying that she's getting some buffering problems. Everyone else looking okay? Sometimes that happens. Peg tooth is oversaturated with the coronavirus. Wants me to do to rebuild a radio or build a cat tree. Yeah, maybe. That sounds like something I might do. At some point when I get into a house. Have I heard the conspiracy theory that JFK Jr. is still alive? No, I haven't heard that one. Wouldn't surprise me though. There's a lot of uh, interesting conspiracy theories out there. Yeah, Italy is having a lot of problems with the virus, no doubt there. New problems here, but it's due to aftershocks. Are you actually getting a lot of aftershocks in there? I got to admit, I haven't looked at the Utah map in a couple of days. Yeah, you know what? That's part of the reason I have the pad here, so you can see what's going on here. There we go. Come on. I usually use this on my laptop or on my desktop. It doesn't work. This app doesn't work so well on the pad. Yeah, forget it. Nobody wants to see me pushing away at the pad. I'm in the kitchen with you cooking hamburgers. Hamburgers sound good. Can you send some this way? Yeah, I know that's not how it's done. I know that still makes me laugh a little bit. I don't actually go watch a whole bunch of my videos, but I've watched that one a couple times just because it does make me laugh too. Yeah, I saw that the earthquake was right on the Salt Lake, and there are a couple of faults down there. Yeah, I actually did a cooking vlog yesterday, which you'll see, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, I kind of prefer not to focus too much on how bad the virus is, because you got to remember, you know, there's 98% chance you're going to survive that. So, every person that is diagnosed with it, most of them are going to be fine. Right, Bite? What do you think of all that? What do you think of the virus? Huh? That's what you, like I said, that's what you have to say about everything. You can hear, Nibble doing her thing here too. I think they're both down. They both want the kitty treats, right? So you get the kitty treats out, and all of a sudden they're both coming over here. See if we can see Nibble again here. We managed to coax her into the shot a little bit yesterday. Yeah, there she is. There's a kitty treat for Nibble. And a kitty. That's my finger, though. You can't take my finger. She's really shy, but if she wants something from you, she'll be there. It's just not the personable cat that Bite is. Okay, that's enough because I want to keep you guys coming back. If I give you I fill you up on kitty treats now, you'll run upstairs and go up on the shelf and take a nap, and then we won't see you again. Yeah, I know. Don't get to see Nibble very often, right? Terry's here. Hi, Terry. Sorry, I get to the point where I'm paying attention to what's to other things here, and I miss all the comments. Reviewing comments here, blah blah blah. Yeah, Nibbles, my little girl. She's a sweetie. She's just really timid. Gonna go to the grocery store. Not looking forward to waiting in line. Yeah, well, that's what you got to do sometimes. Just stay 6 feet away from people. You should be okay. Yeah, I think in terms of when you go, the best time to go to like the grocery store is first thing in the morning because they generally restock the shelves at night, and by the time you get there later in the day, um, everything's been picked clean again. Yeah, yeah, I have seen that there are a few cases here in Texas. It's down in Killeen, which is about 50 miles from here. I haven't heard of anything in Waco yet. Yeah, what I've been hearing is the CDC recommends that if you don't have the if you aren't sick that you don't wear a mask. They say it basically doesn't do you a lot of good. The only time they recommend that you use a mask is if you are sick. I haven't talked to my mom in the last 24 or so hours, but I'm sure she's fine. She's locked in her apartment, so it just means a lot of watching TV and reading books and all that fun stuff. And she was kind of geared up for that because she got some books just recently. So yeah, it can be hard to tell sometimes the difference between the virus and the allergies. I know I run into that a little bit too. When I get up in the morning, I'm a little sneezy, and I keep thinking, oh, I hope I'm not sick. But it always is just something. It's always something I deal with in the morning. So yeah, I think that's the best thing to do is just sit down and read. Right. So instead of reading and cooking, what else are people are doing? Are you doing to kind of keep yourselves occupied? I mean, I know what I'm doing. I'm here doing daily live streams, and of course, I guess you guys can say you're watching daily live streams. Walking, that's a good thing. Get out and about and do that. That's something you can do and not really be you know in any real danger. Cleaning the closet, okay, that's a good thing. Crocheting an Afghan. Catching up on yard work, yeah, that's a good thing. Online lessons for your students, yeah. You had a tornado on Thursday night. That sounds exciting. Still haven't seen one of those in person, but suppose it might happen at some point. Getting the yard equipment going. That's a good thing to do too. Got to get ready for gardening season here. Some of the food pantries are delivering free groceries, including toilet paper. That's good. Hello, Karen. Welcome in. Welcome to the group. Yeah, actually, I'm with you, Debbie. I can't wait to garden too. I don't have anything in the yard right now to do, so because I don't have a yard, basically. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. We're getting to the point where the blue bonnets are starting to bloom a little bit now, and I'm looking forward to getting a little bit more into flower season, so we can do some Texas super bloom videos. Hi, Black Dot. Welcome to the group. Glad you finally got one here. I'm trying to do these like daily for the next week or two until I go back to work. I'm on quarantine from work, so need to do something to keep myself entertained. And since there's a lot of people that are kind of locked in their houses or apartments right now, a lot of people, people are. I mean, I'm not really this way, but a lot of people are very social people, and so they need to have someone to talk to and interact with in order to kind of keep their health up. Right, Fight? You're kind of that way, right? Yeah. It's nice knowing I have a job now. I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I could actually go in and do something. I've, I've been. I've been. See, that's what I mean when people curse out autocorrect. Uh, I think some of the autocorrect is better than the original. It's definitely a lot more funny. VNA's got a perfect one. My neighbor has a yard with lots of pornographers. Yeah, I know. Yeah, she meant bluebonnets, but that pornographers that fits way better in that sentence. Yeah, it would be maybe a little easier for me being locked in. I mean, I'm not really locked in. I can go out anytime I want, but uh, not it'd be easier not having to go to work if I could like go out and tinker around in the garage or something like that. I love doing that kind of stuff, and I've heard about distilleries kind of switching over and making hand sanitizer. That's really funny how that works, but that's the private sector for you. If there's a buck to be made, somebody will figure out how to do it. That's that's one of the things, when people talk about like a planned economy, like with socialism or something like that. Do you ever think that a politician would have said, "Hey, we got to get these distilleries making hand sanitizer for us"? No, but it was someone in the distillery said, "Hey, you know what? We could do this." How's my sister? My sister's doing okay. I haven't talked to her in a couple of days, but she's doing fine. I think. Haven't heard anything. She's back home now, which is a good thing. They bailed out right after the funeral. They were going to stay an extra day too, and decided not to. And basically got, when the funeral was done, they hopped in the car and headed home. And then they tried going over the Grapevine, which is kind of going over the hills into the central California area, and the Grapevine was all shut down because of snow, so they ended up having to go around. So I think they left my parents' house or left. Well, we after the funeral we went out for lunch, and at a restaurant. After the restaurant lunch, they hopped in the car and probably took them 15 hours to get home because of their little detour that they had to take. Usually it's a 6 or an 8 hour drive, but I haven't spoken with any realtors yet. I'm not to that point yet. I want to make sure that we're still looking good in the job world, because I want to make sure they're happy with me and I'm happy with them and all that. But I hope to start seriously looking in maybe late April or something like that. By that time, I'll have kind of a good feeling about what the job looks like and how we're doing there. and can make a real final decision. I gotta deal with it before July though, because that's when my lease is up, and so I gotta find the place, have everything done, be ready to move in, before my lease is up in July. Yeah, I've been seeing that a little bit with restaurants around here. Actually, well, I guess actually last time I've been in a restaurant was when I was in California. But one of the days I was kind of bouncing around, I just decided I was really thirsty, and so I went and tried to go and get something to drink at like a Burger King or a Taco Bell or something like that. And as I walked up to the door, I said, "Yeah, no, they're not letting anybody in. The only thing that's open is the drive-through." Your job banned employees from domestically flying anywhere. Yeah, I suppose that's an issue right now. You work in the sugar industry. Okay, I could have definitely used that yesterday. The sugar was one of the things I was having problems finding for my vlog that I shot yesterday. I did a bites and nibbles vlog. Trying Lay's new cheddar jalapeno chips. Not too spicy, huh? Okay, well, maybe not for me then. I'll have to put some Tabasco sauce on them to give them a little flavor. I do love jalapeno chips, though. Yeah, some of the stores around, some of the HEBs have been closing earlier too. They say it's because they want to give their stock people, as much time as possible to restock the shelves at night. Yeah, I suppose as we go along further and further with this, it's going to be, more and more empty planes. So I like chorizo. I've had it. I've had it before. It's good. I don't know about ghost peppers. I've heard bad things about those. There's limits to how far I'll go with hot, but I may be a little mentally imbalanced, but I'm not insane. Get chips that are so hot that you got to wear gloves to handle them. Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the reasons I'll just break it right now. I'll break the secret here. I actually made brownies yesterday for my bites and nibbles segment, and um, the main reason I chose that is because I had to find something that I thought I was going to be able to find all the supplies for. And it's really hard finding things in the store these days. So, I didn't want to do anything really exotic because an exotic recipe doesn't do you any good if you can't get what you need from the store. Yeah, I saw gas at $1.85 yesterday too. So I heard someplace in Kentucky it's actually dropped below $1 a gallon. Yeah, everybody looks at the stock market and sees it tanking the way it is, and they think it's all because of this virus. In reality, there's two things going on right now that are affecting the stock market. The virus is one of them, but there's also like an argument going on right now between Saudi Arabia and Russia. And what and Saudi Arabia's approach to it has been to just open up all the oil wells and start pumping out gas and start pumping out oil as quick as they can. And of course, the stock market and Wall Street sees that as, oh man, all these oil stocks are gonna have all sorts of problems with that, because they're not going to be making the profit because there's so much oil in the market. Well, they don't realize yet that while that may hurt the oil companies a little bit, every other industry in the nation that runs on gas is going to love that. And so that's eventually that's going to have to factor into the stock market, and it'll have to come up a little bit when people realize, hey, low gas prices, that's good. Does the stock affect IRAs? Yes, because usually your IRAs are invested in the stock market. So yeah, IRAs, 401ks, that's all going to take a hit right now. But I think once the virus is over, I think everything will bounce right back up. Our economy is strong. It's just right now things are weird, and the combination of this Russia, Saudi Arabia thing and the virus, it's just spooking everybody right now. But I'm convinced when it's over, it'll all bounce back. No time to panic about this kind of stuff. It happens. Yeah, I haven't even, well, I don't really have anything in a 401k right now. I just signed up for the 401k at work. So, but I don't think anything's been contributed yet. And you may recall a couple months ago, I talked about how I basically cashed out both my 401ks from Disney and from WIA, and then moved them over to my IRA that my brother-in-law uh, monitors for me. So, like I said, I don't really have a 401k right now, but I still would be. I still would invest more in your IRA. That's a that's a the 401k that I got at the first one I ever had was over at DMI many years ago, and I'd never heard of the thing, and they were talking about it when they were first implementing it, and I said, well, we'll see what I decided we'll try, see what happens, and honestly, it was the best decision I ever made. It's free money, it really is. So yeah, I've got a nice little retirement fund set up right now. I mean, it's probably not enough that I could retire right now. That was actually why everything started happening with the 401ks, coming from my from Fidelity when they started contacting me, is because I'm 55 now, and so I guess I'm eligible to start doing that. Um, and so they started talking to me about that and said, you know what, I don't want to have a half a dozen companies I have to go to deal with that. I want to have it all in one place. So I transferred it over um, in order to, so I could have it all in one place and not lose track of anything. Do you know why this virus is worse than others like SARS? SARS actually was a worse virus, and there are a lot more deaths. It was a lot more people infected with it, but it's just the media is blowing it out of proportion this time. Yeah, see, uh, Y2K was another one of those crazy things that everybody panicked about. Yeah, I've heard that too. That the virus came from bats in China. Apparently, they've tracked it down to like one store that was selling all sorts of like exotic thing, bats and rats and all sorts of nasty stuff. And apparently, that's how they think it started. And of course, China. Then of course, China, covered it up and tried to minimize it and all that fun stuff, and that just made it worse. And they refused to accept anyone's help. Because I know the U.S. offered to to send experts over to help contain the thing, and China refused. So I was just reading that Jan was having problems getting on. I guess you're on now, Jan. How you doing? It's raining in San Antonio. Okay, we're um, supposed to get some rain later today, but it's just overcast right now. And cherry blossoms are starting to pop in DC, and nobody's there to see them. Yeah, I suppose. So, do you have anything to say to him, Bite? Huh? Meow, meow. And then Nibble comes down here for the kitty treats. Let's see if we can coax her back into the shop there. You know what this is? Yeah, there you come. Okay, that's it for now. Whoops. That's how you scare the kitties away. You throw the lid at them. Yeah, I heard Kenny Rogers passed away. That's sad. I remember I listened to him a little bit back when I was a lot younger. Todd has butter pecan ice cream, so anyone wants some, hands up. Send some this way, Todd. I can't wait to the day where we can send food and stuff like that over the internet. Can you imagine doing a bites and nibbles segment, and then when we get to the end of the segment, you can say, "Okay, here's some for everyone. Enjoy." Yeah, we've been kind of going through the let's pick songs for the funeral phase too. I know my sister asked me to come up with a couple of songs for my dad's funeral. She recommended because he was kind of into Neil Diamond, so she wanted me to pick a couple songs like from one from Neil Diamond. Then I picked a Monkees song too that I thought would be a fun one. And Bite's back here sniffing around on the ground looking for any kitty treats that might have fallen down there, right? Did you find any? Meow. Yeah, that's your answer to everything. Look who's back. Don't show people your butt. That's rude. You know how rude that is? Would you like it if I stuck my butt in your face, huh? An old roommate insisted that you owed her $50, so you faxed her 50 from work. Awesome. Yeah, it's like those people that get a ticket in the mail from one of those you know stop sign cameras or stoplight cameras, and they get the ticket and a picture of the violation in the mail, and so they reply by sending a picture of the money. Yeah, Bite's got a lot to talk about. You kind of hear him over there. He's just kind of doing his thing. You know, a good realtor in Waco when I get ready for one. I was thinking, I was going to probably talk to my realtor in California and see if she could recommend somebody, because she came in. She was a recommendation from a friend of mine at work who'd worked with her, and he kind of liked her just because she's got kind of a no nonsense attitude about that. And I was 100% happy with how that worked out. How did the eulogy go at the funeral? The truth is, I haven't done the eulogy yet. Yeah, I probably didn't talk a whole lot about that, but when in the few days right before the funeral happened, there was they were starting to get panicking about the about this virus thing, and so my mom decided that we were going to put the memorial service off for a little while until we get past that. So all we did was just the graveside ceremony. So I haven't done my eulogy yet. I don't know if you can hear him purring in the background there. He's got quite a distinctive motor on him, doesn't he? Starting to shed a little bit, buddy. He loves the brush. Wow, wow, wow. Do you hear that bite? DNA wants to hug you. And then what do? You show your butt. Wow. Yeah, he's my buddy. I hear Nibble now. Nibble's coming back into position here. Let's see if we can. She's gonna sneak in right there any second now. There she is. Nibble's on camera. So I got them both trained now to come down here when I do the live streams. Yeah, I said I gotta close down the kitty treats every once in a while here, or else they'll go up and go to sleep. Yeah, Chicago style pizza does sound good. Yeah, that's sad about Kenny Rogers. I read about that this morning. It was funny. I was under the impression that he'd passed away earlier, but I guess he didn't. I guess I was wrong. Kathy thinks you waddle too much, Nibble. What do you think about that? Yeah, I heard you. I heard Kenny was 81, so that's a good long life. That's how old my father was too. Yeah, I didn't hear a cause of death on Kenny. Did anyone else? I mean, I did. I just kind of saw headlines, so I don't know. Did anyone hear what the cause was? Natural causes. Okay. Yeah. Well, that happens. You get to a certain age, and sometimes your body just wears out. Yeah, everyone's saying natural causes, so that's good. I mean, I guess it's better than it's better to go quick than to have some disease that drags out for a long time. That was kind of why we were thankful that my father went as quickly as he did. You think it's because Lucille left him with a crop in the field? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, who knows? Sometimes that's how they say. Sometimes they kind of play that a little bit quiet. Yeah, I got to admit, I haven't really listened to Kenny Rogers in a long, long time. It's probably been, he was kind of big in the '80s, and I think that was kind of. I remember listening to him like when I used to be a courier at a medical laboratory, and when I was out driving around, it seems to me I would listen to him then. And so that was like you know early '80s, early to mid '80s. I'm not really listening to a lot of music right now. I think what happens a lot of times, people kind of settle into what they listened to as a kid and aren't, they kind of close their mind to new stuff. I mean, if I hear something new that I like, it's fine. But for the most part, the music I hear today just doesn't do it for me. But I still like the stuff that I was listening to in my 20s and 30s. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. Just pass away in your sleep. Go to bed one night and that's it. Yeah, I listened to some music that was definitely before my time. I mean, I like the Beatles and a lot of stuff that was happening in the '60s when I was, you know, real young because I was born in '64 also, and I discovered a lot of that stuff early on that I found that I liked later on in my life. All right, thanks for stopping in, Penny. It was good to see you. Your father passed away mowing the lawn and doing what he loved, huh? That's cool. I remember Boston. Never really got that into him, but I remember the music. That was kind of big when I was kind of in high school and college and stuff like that. First concert was Jackson 5, and you paid $5.50 for it. That's a pretty good price. You can't get that these days. I think the first band I ever saw in concert was Oingo Boingo. They were fun. Saw them a number of times. Yeah, that'd be fun to go out and do some kite flying. I got a couple of kites around here. They'd be fun to get in the air again. I got some like stud kites that do some, it's not just sit there hold the string, but you can make it do different things. Okay, so that seems like a good subject here to bring out the discussion here. What was your first concert, everyone? I've seen Jackson 5. I've seen Rolling Stones, Black Flag. There you go. Meat Puppets. I was always more Dead Kennedys than Black Flag, but that's cool. Yeah, Dead Kennedys, Devo. Devo is definitely one of the most underrated bands. They definitely should have been much bigger than they were. Uh, unfortunately, most people only think of one song when they think of Devo. Elton John, Journey, the Beatles. That would have been fun. I would have loved to have seen the Beatles, but they were done when I before I was aware of them really. Do I ever do a sinus rinse? No, no, I haven't. Ray Stevens. All right. David Cassidy. All right, there you go. There's another one. Elvis, okay, that's a good one. Ronnie Millsap, Black Eyed Peas. You didn't like seeing Alice Cooper? Oh man, I would have loved to have seen Alice Cooper. But I guess if you're not into it, it's not a lot of fun going to a concert to a band you're not really into. Beach Boys, okay. Yeah, I never saw. I've seen Ozzy. Never seen Alice though. Ozzy did play Ozfest a number of years ago in California. Burton Cummings. Wow. Prince. Okay. Prince in 1991. That was probably what was that? Was that before Purple Rain? No, it couldn't have been because no, that was well after Purple Rain, wasn't it? Because the two albums of his I really liked were 1999 and Purple Rain. After that, I don't know. I think he just got a little silly. Beach Boys. That's a good first concert. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Jim Croce too. That would have been a good one. Iggy Pop. Yeah, that would be a good one to see too. Yeah, John Denver. I would enjoyed seeing him too. Same with Janice. Who would you like to see in concert, huh? Let me guess, the Stray Cats, right? Yeah, that's probably it, right? Cat Stevens? Hmm? Aha. Yeah. I think we talked a little bit about Aha yesterday. Come over here, buddy. Jen wants you to have a belly rub. There's a belly rub for Jen. All right. Yeah, big fat belly rub. If you were more personable, Nibbles, you could have a belly rub too. Josie and the Pussycats. Yeah, that'd be another one that you'd like, right? Josie and the Pussycats. We lived through the '80s. They were bad. I don't know. There was some good music in the '80s. No matter when you lose your parents, it's still hard. That's true. That's true. I've only had to do that once so far. Didn't you see the CDC said that you're not supposed to be licking your fingers? Huh? Wow. He was doing one of these a minute ago here. Are a lot of people in the building on quarantine from work? I don't know. I don't know of anyone else but me. I haven't really talked to anyone over there except my boss. I wonder if YouTube's going to demonetize this now because you get a cat taking a bath. That's obscene, right? Hmm? Wow. So you weren't into AHA. Okay. No, I think sometimes there are still good movies that are being made today that I like. I mean, I don't go to the movies very often anymore. A lot of times, then I'll go just buy one on DVD or Blu-ray and watch it that way. That's just kind of my own thing. Haven't really done a whole lot with the streaming because I like having a physical copy of my stuff. I may digitize it once I have it, but it's nice to be able to know that any movie over there in my collection I can pull out and play at any time and not have to oh, internet's down, oh, I just don't have a good connection today, and everything is buffering. That just doesn't work for me. I guess I'm getting old and becoming old fashioned. Would have loved to have seen Susan Day, but you don't think she actually sang though. I don't know. I don't know if any of the people in the Partridge Family actually did any real singing or if they were just lip syncing. Yeah, the band is back together today. Yeah, we're gonna like I said yesterday. I'm gonna try doing this daily for a while here, just to kind of reach out to those who are locked in their rooms or in their apartments or in their houses or something. Yeah, Karen Carpenter had a lovely voice. Does my mom FaceTime? No, no. She has enough trouble dealing with just the basic operations of the phone. So I'm not even going to try and teach her that. It would be fun if I could get her to come on and do a call in like my dad did a few months ago. But I don't know. We'll see. She's never really seemed that interested in doing that, and never really. wanted to be on the vlog or anything. So, hi Jeff, how you doing, buddy? Got any rain down there in Florida? David Cassidy said he was the only singer in the Partridge Family. Okay, yeah. See, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, Janice would have been fun to see. I never really was into Elvis or the Bee Gees. Buddy Holly would have been great. Very dry in Florida. Okay, so I guess it's all coming through here then. Are you having an urge to barbecue? Yeah, well, that'd be a good thing for Jeff to do today. He's got the smoker. Do I think that now that my dad is no longer with us, that my mom might be wanting to move closer to either myself or my sister? No, no, I know that she isn't. We brought that up a bunch of times. We're trying to actually pressure her to move up near my sister because then she'd be able to get out more. My sister could check in on her more. Uh, we'd have both my niece and nephew that could help transport her around a little bit, but no, she doesn't want to move. She likes where she is. We've only just begun. That's a good song for a wedding. I actually met Richard Carpenter once. I was going to Cal State Long Beach at the time, and he was a Cal State Long Beach alumni. He came in and was talking about the music industry. Yeah, I think with my mom, it's more like what Karen said that all of her friends are there. So and I mean honestly, a lot of them, you know, aren't in any better position to go visit her than she is to go visit them. But it's just that's what she wants. She keeps saying she doesn't want to go up to live in Folsom because she says she can't stand the heat in the summer. She's not going to like Texas in the summer either for the same reason. Yeah, Karen definitely had an amazing voice. I do have a bike. I've been out on it a little bit, just a few times to ride around. But yeah, I've been thinking it'd be fun to go down to like Cameron Park because there's some nice bike trails down there and ride around. I could put a GoPro on top of the helmet so you guys could come along. So Jeff is pouring concrete in the backyard. Okay, yeah, well that's one of those things you can't neglect too long here, or you'll have a problem. And then it was like Texas in the summer. It isn't too bad as long as you can stay inside a lot. That was my big thing about getting a job here is I wanted to make sure that I was inside in a climate controlled environment. That was like number one on the list. I've worked out I've worked outside a bunch, especially in Disney, but I'm over that now, especially with the weather the way it can be here. It's extremely cold in the winter and extremely hot in the summer, and didn't want to be outside in that all the time. Yeah, I guess having lived in California, the heat here isn't as bad as it might be for some people. Because I mean we had hot in California too. Now generally it was hot and dry rather than hot and humid. But are the leaves coming back on the maple? Yes. As a matter of fact, I think on the video that I post tonight, that goes live tonight, I actually showed you some of that stuff. Because I, just started off doing a video and it just kind of evolved it from one thing to another to another to another. And eventually I said, you know what? I haven't shown the plants in a while. So we went around and looked at them. Things are doing okay. I think I'm losing the cactus. I lost one of the plumeria, but the other one seems to be doing fine. And the three palm trees and the maple tree are all doing good. The maple tree is starting to bud a little bit now, having some leaves coming up on it. So that was good. It had kind of a hard year last year, and so I'm glad that it's coming along. This has been a different winter for it than it's ever had to face in the past because it never really got below freezing, um, in California, so it never had to deal with that. And generally, with my maple trees, they drop their leaves in December, January, and by the time you get into March, they're already starting to bud again. This one, they drop. We dropped all our leaves like in October, and it's just getting to the point now where there's starting to be some leaves on it. So it's a longer winter, and the plant and the tree kind of had to adapt to that. But looks like it will. And like I said, when I get into a house and I want to, put it in the ground and let it go from there. I have a green thumb. Oh, nuts! I've been washing my hands a lot. I have to do something about that. Yeah, and the humidity is something I can deal with. I've been in Minnesota, and Minnesota has humidity in the summer too, hot and humid. And light's coming back now here. Back up here to mooch for some more food, right? And then there's Nibble over there. I don't know if you can hear her. What does my mom like about living in California? Um, I don't know. I think she's just been there for a long time, and it's just used to it. And I think it's just that's where all her friends are, and she's kind of acclimated to the climate. She before she married my dad, she lived in Minnesota and in around that area, and so she definitely got over the snow, young in her age, and then moved out to California, and I guess that's just where she likes to be now. Oh yeah, yeah, we do that all the time. You torture people's dogs by meowing for them. We're still waiting on the long term insurance to kick in. She's been in the apartment now for about a month now almost, And we're still, they're just every time they ask her for a piece of documentation, she provides it, and then they want something else. They just keep delaying it. It's really sad because my father's paid into this thing for decades, so they'd be ready for it, and now they're just dragging their feet on this. So I don't know. It's really sad. Were they young when they moved to LA? Yeah, my parents were in their early 20s when they moved out here. Yeah, 41 people. I know. I usually get a little bit more than that. I was thinking, I did one yesterday and we got about 40 or 45 people at the peak, but I was thinking, maybe it would do better today because it isn't a weekday anymore, but I don't know. Maybe just maybe it's just that people aren't used to it anymore. I stopped doing Saturday live streams when I took the job, and then we didn't do one last weekend because I was in California and dealing with all the funeral stuff. And I don't know. Yeah, I know exactly. It's too bad they don't pay out as quickly as they sign you up. Yeah, I know. That's really sad on that kind of stuff. Because I mean, if my dad missed one payment, they'd cancel him so quick. But when it's their turn to pay it out, I don't know. The bottom line is, she's got to come up with the cash now, but eventually we're going to get this straightened out, and then she'll be reimbursed for everything. She actually asked me a couple of days ago if I could pay her rent this month in the apartment because I guess my sister's been doing it for the last couple months, and they just need it. It's just a loan until the insurance kicks in, but still, it's not something she should have to be worrying about. The point of having long-term health care like this is so that it kicks in when you need it. And when they just drag their heels, but what they're thinking, hey, we delayed it. We avoided having to pay for one because he died in the meantime. Maybe if we delay it long enough, the other one will die too. And then we won't have to pay. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. My mom definitely doesn't need that stress. Yeah, I hope the house sells quickly too. I've heard that we have like 5 or 6 offers, so yeah, that might be a good like bidding war kind of thing, and that can't do anything but help. Yeah, the burrito casserole was good. Did you do it with a tapatio like I did it, or just do it plain? It was good. That's definitely something I'll make again. I do like green chilies. Yeah, in fact, when uh, when Robert brought up the burrito casserole, I was thinking, yeah, that would probably be good, like with a chili relleno too. Yeah, yeah, you got to use the tapatio. Maybe not as maybe if you don't want it as strong as I did. You don't have to maybe put as much in it, but that definitely made it better in my mind. Ted Nugent has a ranch in Waco. I guess I've heard that. Yeah, I think I mixed in some fresh jalapenos too on mine. I think that went into the cheese sauce. I like the early Red Hot Chili Peppers. When they did that album, what Blood Sugar Sex Magic, where they had that one hit Under the Bridge. I didn't really like that song, and unfortunately, that was their biggest hit. And like everything they did after that sounded like that song. I like the really early Red Hot Chili Peppers. I thought they were better then. But I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers a couple times play. They were a fun band to watch play. Red or green chili with cubes of beef or pork. Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. Your wife is picky, but she liked it too. That's good. Yeah, no complaints about that. That was like I said, when I saw that recipe come in, I said, "Oh man, that one sounds really good. I got to try that." Got to go to the grocery store. You're one of them. You're among the non-hoarders. Yeah, I've been kind of going on a daily basis because I'm looking for specific things. You know, I'm okay on the toilet paper front because I usually buy toilet paper in bulk anyway, and so I got probably another couple months of toilet paper here if I need it. But I'd like to find cans of soup or something like that. I see any homeless people in LA? Yeah, they're all over the place. Yeah, it's crazy there. I mean, they're camped out along the sides of the freeways. They camped out under bridges. It's just crazy there. Yeah, I never got into Nickelback. I see at any homeless people at the airport. No, I don't think so. I didn't. I mean, I was only at the airport a little bit, and basically I had other people driving, so I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention. Sounds like a text message here. It's Beth. She wants to know when the live chat's going to be. She's saying, I don't know how I missed yesterday's live chat. I'll keep checking. What time are you on today? I'm gonna reply. I'm on right now. Get that out of the way. Jordan's mom is texting me. There we go. Ever eaten chili Rianos? Yes, I love chili Rianos. They're very, very good. You actually got to see what Jordan's mom wants. She bought a T-shirt for her husband, but he never wore it. So she wants to know whether I want it. Yeah, I'll probably take it. Yeah, YouTube. I don't know. A lot of people seem to have problems with the notifications on YouTube. It doesn't always work. I guess I don't know. I have all the notifications turned off on stuff because if it's the only thing I'm really watching on any regular basis is like Jordan's vlogs and I don't need to know that a new one has gone on because I watch all the time and I go in and I know what his posting schedule is and I know where to find him. So Jen's got a recipe for chili relleno casserole. That sounds good. Yeah, you have to send that in. Remember, it's escapingthemouse at gmail.com. Um, when Jordan does a live stream, if I know about it, like I said, I don't have any notifications turned on for that kind of stuff. So, if he does it and I don't know about it, then no, I don't. Uh, I'm not really into the live streams with him anyway. I'm more into his regular videos. She's asking me, Beth's asking me if I'm blocking her because she only sees yesterday's live stream. She keeps calling them life streams too. That's kind of funny. Let me answer here. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I suppose I could call her on the phone. That'd be kind of funny, right? Then she could be on the live stream or the live stream. She said she did and she can't. That's weird. Let's call her. This will be funny.
I just got it.
Oh, you're on now? Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened.
Okay, well you're live on the live stream too, so say hi to everyone.
Okay. Hi everybody. Okay, all right, thank you, Brent.
Okay, talk to you later.
Right.
Bye. Yeah, she figured it out. So she'll probably pop on here. She said she's in now, so waiting for her to say something now, though. Come on, Beth. You know you can do it. Say hi to everyone. Yeah, now she's gonna be shy, I think. Yeah, there she is. And we're all kind of goofing on you a little bit for calling it a live stream. You posted that a couple times in the text messages too. But that's fine. You want to call it a live stream. That's probably a good thing for what we're doing today, right? There you go, Beth. You're famous now. Yeah, my suggestion was going to be just to go back and I don't know if you do this on your phone or if you do it on your computer or what, but I was just going to suggest going to the YouTube channel directly. Just going to youtube.com and then typing "escaping the mouse" in there because sometimes my father ran into the same thing with my live streams with my videos because what he would do is he'd open up the YouTube channel on his iPad and watch a video, but he wouldn't close down the channel. So what would end up happening is he would have the page as it was at the moment he loaded it. And so when new videos came on, they didn't get added to the list. And so he could never find it. And he never got to the point where he figured out how to shut down the browser and reopen it up so it rereads everything. But I think he did finally get to the point where he was watching that pretty regularly. Yeah, Beth, how's Flash doing? That's a good question. Beth's here now, so we can do that. Yeah, well, sometimes the YouTube is funny, but you did figure it out. Flash doing getting along well with Moxie now? Is Moxie still bark at her? Yeah, I've seen that happen before. Yeah, when she got away from me when I lived in California and found her way to one of the neighbors' houses, the neighbor had a little girl that loved feeding Flash strawberries, and so when I got Flash back, um, her face was all stained red. So yeah, I know how that works. Yeah, I guess strawberries are just starting to get into season now. Yeah, Beth, that's a good one. That's a good suggestion. You could post another video of Flash on the page. At least Flash isn't using too much paper or toilet paper. Yeah, that's true. Are you using a lot of toilet paper, or you just use your tongue like usual? Yeah, that's gross, right? Yeah, that's really gross. Yeah, well, we saw Moxie that first night. She was kind of barking at Flash. It's probably the first time she'd ever seen a walking rock, right? You've seen the walking rock. The walking rock, you leave the front door open, he'll come into the house, won't he? Yeah, Flash will be in the house in a second if you leave the front door open. And Moxie doesn't understand why Flash likes strawberries either. Yeah. Well, I guess if you're not into strawberries, that's what you do, right? Right? Nibble's down here again. Nibble want a kitty treat? Huh? Let's see if we can coax her into view again here. Come on, Nibble. Yeah, sometimes seeing Bite get one. Okay, she's coming by in the chair, so you'll see her right there in just a second. Yeah, there she is. Oops, I dropped it. Oh, dude, really? The lunge had it like a shark. Moxie is cute. I'm sure Flash and Moxie are friends now. I guess either that or they just kind of tolerate each other. Flash made her way into the garage. Is it nice and sunny there today, Beth? Oh yeah, I had a bird that used to love strawberries and grapes and apples and oranges and peaches and all that stuff. Does Flash eat grass? Yeah, that's basically what she fed on in my yard is the lawn. Your neighbor has an exotics pet store and now delivers crickets for pet owners. Yeah, yeah, that's an important thing. You gotta have, gotta keep feeding the pets. Yeah, just make sure she eats the grass in different parts. You know, what I always ran into is uh, what would happen is there were like two places that Flash would sleep in my house every night, and then in the morning, you know, when it started getting light out, she'd move out onto the lawn into the first place that she could get where there was some sun, and then you know, as soon as she was in the sun, she just kind of plopped down there and wait for herself to warm up, and then once she was warmed up, then she'd just start eating right where she is, and she always ended up eating the grass right down to the dirt. Yeah, yeah, Beth, definitely, you know, shoot some more videos if you like. You know, if you want to send them to me, you know, I'll put them on the vlog because people like seeing Flash. But you can put them in the Facebook page too. That's just an encouragement for the rest of you to go join the Facebook page, right? Flash time, yeah, that's true. Okay, it looks like Beth just put a video up of Flash on the Facebook page, so we'll go. I'll try and go grab that off the Facebook page today and put it on the video that I do. And get a mobile flash cam sometime. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I could strap a GoPro to her and just let her run. That's bottled water. Well, it's not bottled water. I buy it in 2.5 gallon jugs. But I have not seen any other dedicated grocery stores in Waco besides HEB. You know, it's funny because in California, you know, we had Ralph's, we had Vaughn's, we had Albertsons, we had Stater Brothers. You know, there's all sorts of competition there, but HEB just seems to dominate things. Now we have, you know, Target and they have kind of built-in grocery stores, and we have Walmart and they have grocery stores in them. But in terms of just dedicated grocery stores, it's HEB. Okay, so it's sunny in California. That's nice. That's why Flash is out and about. Yeah, yeah, we could definitely speed up the Flash videos. But once she gets moving, she actually moves pretty fast. You know, for a tortoise, it's just a lot of times, you know, when she's you know, a lot of times when she's just kind of hanging out, you know, she'll sit and think about things for a while. Buffering again, yeah. It only seems to be you doing that. I'm not hearing anyone else, so I don't know. Maybe your internet connection is a little flaky right now, or maybe everybody's streaming or something like that on your Wi-Fi or something. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're watching on like a cell phone and just connected to cell network, then that could be an issue too. Hey, what are you doing back there? Why are you sneaking around, huh? Well, I know she likes dandelions. You know, she'll eat those. Not when they go to seed, but when they're in the flowering stage. She loves those. Clock her on GPS. Yeah, Get the speed stats from GoPro. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't move that fast. It's probably half of walking speed for a normal person. Yeah, I haven't tried drinking the tap water in Texas. Wasn't really into it in California, so I just got out of the habit. You heard in Walmart in Nashville, Tennessee had guards around the toilet paper displays. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. You got to make sure that somebody doesn't grab every roll of it. There's been like a comic that's been floating around the internet for the last couple of days about aliens who come to Earth and find everyone dead. And they said, yeah, but their butts are really, really clean. Yeah, a lot of times that's what happens. You get into the big cities, they got to do something to control to keep the water safe. And sometimes what they do is they put chlorine in it. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Blistering 1.69 miles an hour. Yeah, maybe. Never really clocked her, so I don't know. Well, I was actually talking to the question here is will Flash adapt to the colder weather winters in Texas? I have a friend who is a biology teacher. In fact, I saw him at the funeral. He was one of the people that showed up for the funeral uh, earlier, and we were talking about that, and I might find that I have to do some things to kind of keep her okay. Maybe I'll get her like they have those heater stones that they have for like reptiles, and maybe I'll find one for her that doesn't I don't need to keep her at 80 degrees, but if I can keep her at like 50 or 60 degrees, then she'll do fine. But I may end up having to bring her in sometimes too. I think she'll do fine in the summer. In fact, my friend was also talking about that and saying you may have to build her some sort of an underground lair or something like that so she can escape for it. Because I guess her species of tortoise um, burrows underground, and so I may end up like digging a hole and like putting like pottery over it or something like that so she can get in there and be underground and escape the real high heat. What made me move to Texas? It was a whole bunch of things. I've been in California my whole life, but California is just kind of going crazy politics wise, and wanted to get away from that. Um, it was really expensive. It was really too expensive to live in California. Um, the job was kind of going nowhere, and also I got kind of bored with the weather in California. I like to get a little temperature extremes and weather extremes. I love it when it rains. I love it when it's stormy. And you just didn't get a whole lot of that in California. So, I came to Texas for that reason. And, it was just, Texas is also a little bit, is a lot more affordable. We don't have a state income tax here, which is all great things. So, yeah, there's a number of reasons, but That's got to be the first time anybody's ever said those words. Flash got her motivated. Yep, Texas gets heat in the winter or in the summer. That's true. In fact, for the first couple of days, it's for the last couple of days, it seemed like we were starting to move our way back into the heat because even though it's been raining for the last few days, it's been kind of warm rain. Well, I do like the fact that when it gets cold in Texas, it gets cold in Texas. And basically the temperature dropped significantly in about the middle of October this year, and it's been that way ever since. Is Todd drinking brown water? Shouldn't do that. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Get the mouse back here so I can. Okay, he was talking about being in a hotel in Mississippi and they had brown water there coming from the river. Yeah, yeah, that doesn't sound really good. Beth's going to try and track what Flash's walking speed is. Now, see, that was another thing that kind of I knew I wanted to leave California, but I didn't want to go to the northern half of the country because I don't want to live in a place that freezes solid for 6 months out of the year. So that kind of limited my options. Yeah, see, peg tooth is saying it's still negative Celsius in Canada. So yeah, that I don't know. I like Smo's better. Yeah, I've got an uncle who lives in Minnesota. Well, two uncles actually live in Minnesota, but one of them has a camp or has a cabin in northern Minnesota. I made the mistake of going there once in the winter. I won't do that again. That was too much. I was It was like 30 degrees below zero, and you go outside and it just hurt to breathe. It's no wonder everybody drinks in Minnesota. I'm pleased I'm in Texas too. Yeah, this has turned out really well. The big issue was just finding a job, but now it seems like I got a good one of those, and the channel's growing really nice. Hit 3,000 subscribers last night. That was exciting. I got a video that's on the process of it's in the process and looks like maybe going viral because YouTube's starting to push it a little bit, and that's a little exciting. It's going to be my first video to hit 10,000 views, I think. And that could happen maybe in a week or so. At the rate things are going. We've been so lazy and bored this week, so Flash got you off out of the bedroom, huh? Okay, that's good. And 312 Facebook page numbers. Yeah, that's true because we've only been doing that for a couple weeks. Yeah, I am proud of the JFK videos. I thought they turned out good. I was really really happy with the stuff that I was able to get access to. The ability to go into the cell he was held in. That was really amazing. That was a lot of fun being able to do that. I saw some really cool things that, like I said, a lot of people just aren't probably going to get to see. You know, I rode in the elevator that he rode down to right before he was killed. Yeah, yeah. The people on the Facebook page are really nice too. I agree with that. Beth's going to put a Fitbit around Flash's leg, and I don't know how well that'll work. I got an app on my phone that you know kind of keeps track of, like, it's an exercise app and keeps track of how far you walk. And you maybe strap the cell phone to her back and turn it on and see how far she goes in a day. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that some of the schools that are shutting down aren't doing like online stuff to keep that going, because that'd be the perfect way to do it. You know, because I mean, everyone's got an internet now. These kids that are gonna say, "Oh, I don't have the ability to do it." You know that 2 weeks ago they were constantly on their cell phone when they were supposed to be doing their schoolwork. So, you know, these kids know how to do that. That's a good way to do things too, Teresa. Is just call people that you haven't talked to in a long time. Yeah, yeah, I'm proud of the JFK videos. Like I said, a lot of that was, you know, was a lot of research at the beginning to find out, you know, everything and find out where everything was, and it really was surprising how close everything was to one another. Because I mean, the Texas Book Depository, that was only a couple miles from Oswald's boarding house, and then where he was caught in the movie theater, that was only a couple miles away from his house. So that was definitely one of those cases where you know doing the homework ahead of time made the video work. Yeah, the timing on that was perfect because, like I said, originally they weren't even going to let me in there because they were still doing construction, and and then all of a sudden the same guy that said, "Yeah, we can't let you see anything," all of a sudden says, "Come with me," and they took me in the elevator up to one of the floors in the building, and I just thought he was going to take me up there and let me plead my case to like an administrator or curator or something like that. But all of a sudden he says, "Oh yeah, this is the elevator that Oswald rode down in," and then next thing I know, I'm standing outside the jail cell in there, and it was behind glass, and he said, "Yeah, that middle cell there, that was the one he was in." Next thing I know, he's got the key out and he's opening up the glass door and letting me go in there. And so, yeah, that was just really awesome. That was completely serendipity. I didn't expect any of that. I figured the extent of what I was going to do was just going to be filming outside. So, getting to go in, getting to see the place where the death occurred, seeing the cell he was in, you know, that was just really great. Your uncle's on the Zapruder film. That's kind of cool. I was really lucky that that all happened. And in reality, it wouldn't have happened without Jordan because it was actually Jordan's suggestion that I go and do it. You know, he said you need to go up and maybe spend a couple days in Dallas and do JFK assassination video. And uh, I decided, okay, well, I spent about a week, researching it and studying it and all that. And turned out, like I said, everything was real close together. So I was able to shoot that all in one day. So, that was really cool that that worked out that way. Yeah, well, Jordan's got some ideas of what he wants to do during the during the lockdown. Now, it all depends on whether you can they lock it down completely and prevent him from leaving his apartment. That might be another issue, but he'll figure it out. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a sad time, but I'm glad I got to go and be there. I'm glad that made it back safe and got out of there before the lockdown and all that. And we're thankful that the pain is over. As sad as it is to lose him, he was suffering. He wasn't having a good quality of life, and he hated being in the hospital. So, you know, the fact that it's over and he's singing in the choir upstairs, right now, uh, he's in a better place. That's how we have to try and justify this. Yeah, that would definitely be something Jordan could do if he wanted to do that. Just get on there and play some music. He is a very talented musician and singer. You know, you may not have heard a lot of his music, but definitely a very creative person musically. He reminds me of like the Smashing Pumpkins, and I think they inspire him quite a bit. Oh, so best school is actually going online, huh? Do you have to do your do you have to do some going and do lessons or what's going on there? Curiosity Inc. in Edmonton, Alberta has a bound Warren report signed by Gerald Ford for $300. Wow. Yeah, it'd be, that's something Jordan could do. I guess it's something he wants to do. If he wants to do it, then he'd have to, or then he could do it, but whatever, that it's got to be his decision. And if he just decides to do it, then he'll do it. That'd be great content, though. Yeah, the I when I did JFK stuff, I tried to avoid I tried to avoid the conspiracy theories. I just basically went with what the official story is, and I got to admit, I've been getting a little bit of hate mail in the comments section on those videos of people saying you don't really believe that happened. Here's a conspiracy theory that I think really happened, and whatever. Like I said, on the last video, I mentioned that I basically just told the story as the official story is, and I encourage people if you want to debate the conspiracy theories, go for it in the comments section. So there've been a lot of doing that, but it's really funny how aggressive people can get sometimes with stuff like that. It isn't just well, I have a different opinion than you. No, it's like, you're an idiot if you don't agree with me. It's like, geez, people, get over it. It's a conspiracy theory. It has absolutely zero meaning to your life. Nibble's back now, and Fight, of course, is still hanging out on the chair here. Yeah, I guess I remember that Ford was on the Warren Commission. Let's see if we can get Nibble to appear here. I see her now. She's over there, not over there. But I bet you I could coax her over here, right? With the kitty treats. Yeah, she's already coming back. That's how she is. Come on, Nibble. Kitty treat time. Come on. You gotta come up for it, though, because they can't see you down there. Okay, I'll give you one, too, even though you're fat enough. See, it's another one of the advantages of these daily live streams. Get the cats more used to coming down here. Never would have seen Nibble come up and appear in the video, even just a couple weeks ago. But now she's right here for everyone to see. Okay, that's enough. You guys are fat enough as it is. I think I mentioned this the other couple weeks ago. Regarding they're not fat, they're fluffy. It's like, yeah, it reminds me of Cartman on South Park saying, "I'm not fat, I'm just big boned." Paul's channel might be on the news. Tell us, Paul, what's happening? What happened? How did that come about? Well, I'm glad we avoided having to have a virtual funeral. That would have been no good. Although I guess if we had to do a virtual, funeral, I guess I probably would have been the person to do it, because I guess I probably could have just gotten there with my cell phone and live streamed it. Yeah, you're right. My father had a very strong faith in God, and I remember, when some of the times when he was sickest, that he would, there was one point about a month or so ago that he honestly thought he was going to die, and in fact, I think Beth was with him at that time, and I remember, he was barely coherent when he talked to him on the phone, and at one point he just wanted me to sit and pray with him. So yeah, that was a very important part of his life. Yeah, I was wondering how they're going to do the online stuff, with Beth, because Beth is a special education teacher, and I think a lot of times that works better, if you're dealing with regular students who aren't in need of special education, because then then they can look into, you can talk to them and make sure that they're paying attention and all that. Okay, so Paul called into the TV network, TV station, and talked about his channel, and they said they're going to look into it and maybe put it on the news. That's cool. That's true. Parents will appreciate us teachers more now. I know. There've been some jokes bouncing around the internet about that. Because people are homeschooling their kids now, and it's like, they, all of a sudden they realize it isn't the teacher's fault all the time. I saw one of them that said that both the students have been suspended and the teacher's been fired for drinking on the job. What's to become of Dad's car? Well, Dad's car is now Mom's car, and while she can't drive, she's kind of keeping it because sometimes when family comes into town, it's nice to be able to get a car. When I was there earlier in the week and last weekend, I just drove that car around, and that was my transportation vehicle. So she's going to keep that. She had an SUV that was actually her car, but she hasn't really driven that in a few years. Ever since she had her knee replaced, she hasn't been behind the wheel, and so we ended up selling that. It turns out we sold it to my mom's next door neighbor, who's going to give it to one of his daughters, I guess. And so that was really easy to do. He basically just paid cash for it, and it was a good deal. So, but yeah, my mom's keeping the one car, even though she doesn't drive. There's no school because of the virus, but they're making us go to school on Monday to pick up the work. Yeah, in a world of digital these days where you can just put all your homework online, it doesn't make sense that they'd even make you do that. You took your books home, hopefully when on the last day of school, and then they ought to just be able to put the homework online for you. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but whatever. And maybe Nibble left because she wants me to bribe the treats to bring her back, bribe her with treats to bring her back. Yeah, I don't know. I think she's getting kind of learning like Bite has that if she kind of hangs out around here when we're doing live streams, she gets free food. I think that's really what it's all about. Yeah, I'm glad people are watching Matt's videos too. You know, in fact, let's do another little shout out for Matt here for the 43 people that are still in here. Um, go check out Matt's YouTube channel if you haven't already. Go subscribe, like and subscribe it. We're trying to get him over 1,000 subscribers so he can so he can start supporting himself a little bit on that. Um, he's had kind of a rough year this year himself. The company he's worked for, for many years, basically has gone under. Apparently, well, what was going on is it was his father's company. It was a pest control company on the Big Island of Hawaii, and I guess there was a secretary that was embezzling money out of the company, and she basically drove the company under. And then at the same time, the parents' nest egg kind of got squandered by a crooked investment broker or something like that. And they ended up losing a lot of that. And so Matt's just kind of out there right now trying to figure out how to support himself. So, anything we can do to kind of help, push him to the point where he can start making some money on the videos. Even go play them. Go subscribe to his channel. It's called Island Horizon Videos. You can just go to the search engine and search for Island Horizon Videos and go like and subscribe it. Watch his videos. Put it on in the background. That's the beauty of these things is that you can just run them back to back, and that helps build up his views and start getting to the point where he could maybe earn a little income on this. So yeah, if you haven't done that, go check him out. Island Horizon Videos. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for most of my life, and he's a really good guy. So definitely go check his videos out. We pushed him from about 6 subscribers to about 250, and now he's kind of stuck right there. So you know, let's see if we can give him another little surge today. Yeah, Jan, and Hawaii really is a beautiful place. I mean, I'm kind of a geology nerd, at this, in my life, and so I love the Big Island because that's where all the volcanoes are. That's where all the lava fields are, and it isn't even really as beautiful as some of the other islands. Although there are some very nice parts of the Big Island that are very beautiful. It would, if you like the stuff you're seeing just in his videos, that's just on the Big Island. You get to some of the other islands, onto Oahu or Maui or the actual Hawaiian island, or some of the others. They're really lush and green and all that. Very beautiful. Why Christmas lights? Um, I just thought they were kind of cool up there. We put them up there and never saw the need to take them down. Yeah, that's it. They spread the cheer, and they also it's just kind of it makes it a little bit more interesting to watch these videos. So because we got all that going on back there. Although it kind of tends to keep Bite over here now. Bite kind of stays there rather than a lot of times he'd be here or here. But whatever. Matches the couch. Yeah. In fact, I learned kind of the hard way one time that I can't wear a tie dye T-shirt when I'm sitting here doing a live stream because I disappear. Yeah, well, we're going to really start getting into the house hunting vlogs at some point because, once I get to the point where I'm seriously looking, then it's going to be, we're going to actually get to go into the houses, and that will be fun too. Although I may have to, limit what I show outside because, I don't want, I got to kind of keep it secret exactly where it is I'm going to be moving, but I'll show you the backyard and maybe a little bit of the front yard and stuff like that, but we'll be able to see stuff inside. And that was, yeah, we'll definitely do some more house hunting vlogs. Like I said, everything I've been doing so far has just been kind of unofficial house hunting. Once I get talking to a realtor, then things are going to change, and then we'll then it'll start getting real. I don't mind if it's got a flat backyard. There was that one where I went into the backyard. I think it was the last house I visited, and and I kind of liked the fact that there were like different levels in the yard. That was kind of neat. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Beth's talking about how my mom's apartment has really locked everything down. Yeah, on the last day I was there, I couldn't even go into the place. In fact, my mom was waiting there right at the door, and and I couldn't even approach her. They wouldn't. No, you got to stay away. You're not even supposed to be in here. That kind of stuff. What are my thoughts on Jethro Tull? I like Jethro Tull. I've got a couple albums. I've got Aqualung and Thick as a Brick. I enjoy those. I listen to Thick as a Brick a lot. I even went and saw Jethro Tull once. They were a very interesting band. Yeah, they're fun to watch. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking about the house hunt. That's why I'm not really doing any official looking. I do have kind of a time frame though because my lease is up in July here, and so I don't want to be in here for another 6 months. I want to get out of this place, but I'm thinking probably by the end of next month I want to start looking if the job is still going well. Yeah, you're right, Todd. I'd totally love to show you guys everything, but you know, and I'm sure every single person that's on this live stream right now would be no problem at all. I don't see any reason why I'd have problems inviting you over to the house, inviting any of you over to the house, because everyone here is really nice. But unfortunately, there are a few jerks out there that would take advantage of it, and they, start calling me on the phone or showing up at my door, and it's just there's just people like that, unfortunately. But that's just the way it works sometimes. There's jerks in the world. That's just reality. Yeah, I'll definitely look at stuff like that. But the neighborhood I'm looking at is kind of a nice upscale area. So I'm guessing the crime will probably be pretty low. Well, we've been going for 2 hours and almost 20 minutes now. So I think we're going to pull the plug on this one for today. I am going to try again, and we'll do this again tomorrow, and keep trying this every day until you guys are sick of me and stop watching. In the meantime, I got another video that'll be up in about looks like about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. So for now, I think that's all I have to talk about. Thank you everyone for stopping in, and I will see you next time. Good night, everyone.